There's a moment in every man's life when the power shifts, and it's not when you're chasing, calling, or trying to impress her. It's when you stop caring. When your energy pulls back and she senses you're no longer invested. That's when women react in ways that will shock most men. Because the truth is this: she's far more tuned in to your level of interest than you might think. Welcome to the channel, where we break down what most men miss about women and relationships. I'm here to teach you what really goes on when the dynamic flips. And nothing flips the dynamic faster than a woman realizing you've lost interest. At first glance, you'd think she'd be relieved, right? Maybe she was acting distant. Maybe she was playing games. But watch closely the second she feels your attention slipping. Her entire behavior starts to change. Why? Because deep down, women are addicted to the validation and attention men give them. It feeds their sense of desirability. When that supply dries up, she suddenly realizes the spotlight is gone, and that can be terrifying for her. This isn't about bitterness. It's about awareness. Most men never notice the subtle reactions women have in these moments. Her sudden messages, the curiosity, even the jealousy. And if you don't understand what's really happening, you'll miss the chance to truly see how fragile her sense of control actually is. So in this video, we're going to unpack the exact ways a woman reacts when she realizes you've lost interest and why. This can completely change how you handle relationships going forward. Stick around, because once you see this clearly, you'll never look at her reactions the same way again. 1. The shock factor. The first thing you need to understand is that women are far more perceptive than most men. Give them credit for... They notice small shifts: your tone, your energy, the timing of your replies, even the way your eyes stop lighting up when you see them. And when she realizes you're no longer as invested as before, her first reaction is almost always shock. This isn't because she didn't think it was possible, but because in her mind she assumed she had a certain grip on you. For many men, it feels like women hold all the cards. She gets the attention, she gets the validation. She gets to decide when the conversations happen and how much she's willing to give. But the moment you stop chasing, the game flips. Suddenly she's confronted with something she didn't prepare for: your indifference. And that's powerful because it unsettles her sense of control. Here's where the shock kicks in. She starts replaying things in her mind, trying to figure out what changed. Did I do something wrong? Why isn't he acting the same? Is he seeing someone else? These questions don't necessarily come from love, but from ego. Remember, your attention is a form of currency. And when you stop paying, she feels the loss immediately. The beauty of this moment is that it reveals how much weight your presence carried in the relationship dynamic. Men often underestimate the value of their attention, but women rarely do. That's why her shock feels so strong. Because she thought she had endless access to it, and now she's realizing it can be taken away. You'll notice this shock in subtle behaviors. Maybe she suddenly checks your social media more often. Maybe she becomes curious about your schedule or slips little questions into casual conversations. Some women might even act annoyed as if they don't care. But deep down, that annoyance is just a cover-up for the confusion and panic. She feels what you need to remember is this: her shock isn't a sign that she truly misses you yet. It's her ego realizing it's no longer being fed. She's not used to losing ground, especially with a man she thought was invested. And the way she reacts in this stage sets the tone for everything else that follows. When she realizes you've pulled away, she won't say it outright. But her eyes will say it. Her sudden interest in your life will say it. And the little inconsistencies in her behavior will say it. This initial shock is the trigger for all the other reactions you'll see later. 2. The sudden attention. Once the initial shock sets in, something fascinating happens. The woman who might have been pulling away, acting distant, or even ignoring your efforts, suddenly finds new energy to give you attention, it might feel like it comes out of nowhere. But this is one of the oldest patterns in human behavior. People often value something